Hi guys, sorry for what I think this video might come in too late because it's 40 minutes before midnight right now, and 30 minutes before midnight, and so the video has to be up in the next 30 minutes, and I have to shoot this video. So basically I'm gonna hurry up and shoot this video. The reason that I'm so late at it is because I thought I was gonna be home all the day, but then suddenly one of my friends wrote me and was like, "Hi Morten, I have theater tickets, and I need someone to go with me now. Hurry to Copenhagen." So I just was like, okay, run. An hour before the show started, I just got on train to Copenhagen and went and saw a show. So that was great. That was great. It's Jekyll and Hyde, in case you know the show. It's super great. But yeah, how about I show you some miniatures? 'Cause that's what you're here for. So be back with you with Captain America in a moment. And here we have the one and only Captain America. Now, if you've listened to some of my other videos, I may have mentioned that Captain America is my favorite superhero. Yeah, not just my favorite Avenger, he is just of all time my favorite superhero. When I was a kid, it was Spider-Man, and then for a couple of years it was Wolverine, but then, yeah, for the past, I don't know how long, it's been Captain America, and he still is to this day. So this was my attempt at him. I was obviously intimidated to paint my favorite superhero, but on the other hand I was excited because I really wanted to do a good job at him, and I felt like it was going to be exciting to try and paint as a character that I liked so much. So I'm just going to go slightly closer in without shadowing the light. See if we can get some focus there, and then I'm going to turn him towards us. See, the thing is, turn him like this, the shield covers completely his face. So if I do like this, let's just see how close we can actually get him. Okay, yeah, you can see his face there. I'm shaking a little bit, but I think you can see that he has eyes and an A and all that good stuff. So how did I go about painting him? I should say, I'm so happy with the end result. It's so much better than what I could have hoped for. So I started out doing the face, which I do it the normal way I do faces, so look at all my other videos, you'll know how I do skin if I go for a pretty common skin tone, I should call it, common Caucasian skin tone. So the blue was made with a mix of these two. It is a Calidor Sky, that was the base for the blue, and that was highlighted until it reached the tone of Hoeth Blue. Hoeth? I don't know. Hoeth Blue. And then, if you know what I do, it's, doing the layer of the darkest, then I do a non-oil shade, then I do a layer of the darkest again, and then I mix a little bit of the lighter blue into it, non-oil, mix even more light into it, non-oil, and do another one with a bit more light into it, non-oil, and then I do the final highlight of the pure color. And that is essentially, it took a long time, but that's how I achieved the blue, and I'm very happy with the end result. Then I did the red and the white sort of at the same time. So I did one layer of red, one layer of white, and then I went over it with non-oil. I should say that the red that I used as the base was a Mephiston red. That was the base. And the white I used was actually not completely white, it was a palette Witch Flesh, and I did that because I didn't want to go to start with a grey tone, because I didn't want it to look like it was shades of grey. I wanted it to look white. And it's a sort of a creamy white color. So that's what I started with. And then I went and did non-oil, and as you can see, I managed to get that to give him the abs, both the red and the white. And so I did that shade at the same time, and then I went and highlighted. I highlighted all that just once. I did a highlight of this Evil Sun's Scarlet for the red, and a Skull White for the white. and that's actually what I did to that. And the star and the A, they are both padded lit flesh with no highlighting. And then the shield is actually not highlighted either, because I considered it, but getting the base colors was so hard that I didn't want to risk ruining it afterwards. So the shield, and I actually think it works pretty well, because it is comic book after all, so it can have just some stark, strong colors. So it was just Mephiston red and Skull white. And the blue was the pure Calendar blue, Calendar sky. And that is essentially it. Then obviously I did the belt, which I based, I believe, in a Rhinox hide. And then I highlighted it with, ooh, that's a good question. I think it might have been Steel Legion Drab, though I'm not actually certain now that I look at it. And then I also shaded it with, excuse me, shaded it with Agrax shade. But that's essentially it. I mean, I didn't use a whole lot of different colors for him, because obviously it's red, white, and blue. That's the colors you need. And then a little bit of brown. The inner part of the shield, as you can see, is metal, and that was done with an iron breaker. But yeah, that's essentially it. And that's how I got my Captain America. And I'm just very happy with how he turned out. It took quite a while. Well, I painted him in one day, actually, but I spent a lot of hours that day to paint him. And yeah, I'm just extremely chuffed with the final result, and I hope you are too. So, and the base, I did that as the same as I've done my other Marvel miniatures. I've added a few rocks to the normal base that you get with the miniatures. Basically, I use the base you get with the miniatures, and then I add some rocks, and I use some texture paint, stone and mud, to sort of differentiate them a bit. And the idea again is sort of a broken city with like some, maybe it's pieces of concrete sticking up, or the sort of, I've seen pictures of sort of like a sand, like dark brownie thing, dark brown color, some kind of earth that is underneath the concrete. So that's sort of what I went for. The idea is that, the city is torn up as the Avengers fight. That always seems to happen. Hence Civil War, I guess. And that is my Captain America. So I have started work on Iron Man, though he's in the very early stages. But I'll give you a peek at him as well. So here we have him. As you can see, it looks very base colored-ish right now. And that is also essentially what it is. There's no highlights at all. And the way that I did this to give it sort of a metallic feel was that I started out with the old Games Workshop chainmail color, and I just dry brushed the entire sprayed back black model. Then I just I dry brushed the entire thing with chainmail, and then I took and watered down. Actually no, it wasn't watered down. It was Merchite Red, which is an old foundation color, mixed with Lamian Medium, and I got that into what seemed like a good consistency, and then I took that over all the parts that needed to be red, and that went really well. And I think Lamian Medium, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a paint without color, which means that it has the same chemicals as the paints, which I think it mixes it better than when you do it with water. And in this case, I think that worked better, because with water, I feel like the paint might have been more uneven. So that's what I did. And then for the gold, I mixed these three. So I basically I have mostly this in it, and then a little bit of this Giannis Gold, and then Lamia Medium, and then again that was to give that feel. And that's basically what I've done to Iron Man so far. So we have this done this to give it a metallic look, and the plan, I think so far, is that I'm gonna then highlight it with non-metallic paints, and then I might go over some of the edges, not all of them, but a few of the edges with like a silver or something like that. Obviously, just a gold. The gold will be highlighted with metallics, but the reds won't. And then I'm gonna see what it looks like, and if that doesn't do the job and I'll try something else. So that's the plan, and I intend for him to be done for next week, and hopefully also I get back into doing something from the Lord of the Rings of the hobby for the next week. So yeah, that was my hobby blog. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this Marvel stuff. There won't be much of it for a while once this guy's done. And support your Hobbit or Marvel hobby.